Video 19, Modeling and Solving Equations. The equation 3x plus 4 equals 19 is made up of two equal expressions. One expression on the left, the 3x plus 4, and one expression on the right, 19. To solve this equation, our job is to isolate the variable, or get x alone, so that we can find out its value. In order to do this, we are going to perform opposite operations of what's happening in the equation right now. So right now, we start by identifying the operations that are happening. Notice that we have multiplication here between the 3 and the variable. We have addition right here, plus 4. Okay, so the two opposite operations that we're going to perform would be subtraction, because subtraction is opposite of addition, and division, because division is opposite multiplication. So to begin, let's model the equation on the double mat. Notice we have two algebra tile mats side by side with an equal sign in between. So we're going to represent the left side of the equation on the left side of the double mat and the right side of the equation on the right side of the double mat. The variable x is represented by a rectangular piece, and our singles, remember, can be represented as large tiles, a 4 tile, or as single 1 tiles. Any value that you want that works for your equation. So because I had 3x plus 4, I did 3x tiles and a 4 tile. Everything's positive, so it's all in the positive section of my mat. On the right side of the double mat, I'm going to represent the 19. Notice that I broke it up into four tiles. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 3 singles. 16 plus 3 makes 19. Remember, it's always smart to try to make matches, because you know that eventually you're going to cross out 0 pairs. All right, so let's perform opposite operations. Remember, we had multiplication and addition, so we need to subtract and divide. We're going to move in the opposite direction. So let's subtract 4 from both sides. We cross out a 4 tile on the left and a 4 tile on the right. That leaves us with 3x equals 15. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 singles is 15. So we're at 3x equals 15. The second opposite operation we need to perform is division. Let's divide both sides into 3 equal groups, because right now I know that 3x is equal to 15, but my goal is to find out what is the value of 1x. So if I divide into 3 equal groups on both sides of the mat, I can find out the value of just 1x. So you can see by the picture that 1x is 5. 4 plus 1 for this x tile, 4 plus 1 for this x tile, and 4 plus 1 for this x tile. So I've isolated my variable and found out that x is equal to 5. Okay, let's try another equation. This time 2x minus 3 equals negative 1. Remember, we're going to identify the operations happening first. We see multiplication, 2 times x, and we see subtraction, minus 3. The opposite operations of multiplication and subtraction are addition and division. Okay, let's model the equation on the double mat. Notice we draw 2 x tiles. Then I've drawn 3 negative 1 tiles. Negative ones. Why negative 3? Well, remember that all subtraction can be rewritten to addition using the KCF. Keep, change, flip. So if I keep, change, flip, I'm going to end up with 2x plus negative 3. This is why I have -3 tiles down here. Here's my -1 from the other side of the equation. Okay, so let's perform opposite operations. We're going to add 3 to both sides. My screen got a little ahead of me. Here's the +3 on both sides. Notice I put 3 positive tiles on the left side of the double mat and 3 positive tiles on the right side of the double mat. We always want to do the same to both sides to maintain equality or balance. Okay? And in this situation, I'm allowed to cross out 0 pairs on both sides of the mat. I have some positives and negatives on the left side and some positives and negatives on the right side. So cross out as many 0 pairs as possible. Again, trying to isolate that variable. I can remove those 0 pairs from the picture to find out that we're now down to 2x equals 2. The second opposite operation is to divide both sides by 2. So remember, we're going to draw our fraction bar to show division, and we're dividing both sides of the equation by 2. We draw the red dotted line on both sides of the double mat to divide our mat into 2 sections. We find out this time that the value of 1x is 1 positive tile. So we have isolated our variable and found out that x equals 1 when we perform this division. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, at this point, you should stop the video, model and solve the following equation. When you've finished, turn the video back on, and the next few screens will show you the steps for modeling and solving this equation. So try one right now with this guided video so that you can determine if you've understood what's going on. Okay, so the first step, you should have modeled the equation on your mat, 3 x tiles, 4 positive tiles on the left side. On the right side of the double mat, 5 negative tiles. Okay, next, we're going to perform the opposite operations. We have multiplication here and addition right here. So the first thing we're going to do is work our way backwards. We're going to subtract. Originally they were adding 4 in the equation. We are going to subtract 4 from both sides of the equation. To subtract 4, that would be the same as adding 4 negative tiles to both sides of the mat. So I'm going to add 4 negatives here and 4 negatives here. Because again, my goal is to get rid of the 4, trying to isolate this variable. Okay, so you would cross out 0 pairs on any side, one side or the other or both, until you cannot cross out any more 0 pairs to figure out what's left. So once we cross out the 4 0 pairs on the left side of the mat, notice we're left with 3 x's and 9 negative tiles on the right. Okay. Then you divide both sides of the equation by 3. So we draw our dotted lines to split our mats, both sides of the mat, into 3 equal parts. Notice when you do that, you find out that 1 x tile is worth 3 negatives, or -3. So x equals -3. So hopefully you got that one right. Now it's time for you to try on your own, model and solve both of these problems, bring them in with you to class tomorrow, and we will go over them. Good luck!